welcome back. It's another week of YouTube news with YouTube creator news here right on the channel, as we are every Saturday morning. I hope everyone had a great week, busy week, like a sleep here from things like Made on YouTube, other announcements. So yes, indeed. Let me know how your week's been. But before we do, let's make sure we've got everything in place where it should be. Boom, there we go. But let's jump right in, see who's here in the chat already, and then we'll get cracking on today's show. Talk about all the things we want to talk about. See where the conversation leads us, because I've sort of left it a little bit open-ended today as to where we could send it off to. Where could we end up? Let's see. First of all, my mouse in the right spot. We've got American English with Brent coming in before the stream, as was live stream consultants. Good morning to both of you. Live on YouTube too in the house. Welcome. Larry Home Rapid Repair is here. Only 256 updates coming from YouTube. There's a few. There is a few. And also Kevin Hawthorne is here. Welcome to the stream. Let me check the background. We'll keep jumping in. I had a few things preset there. Let's see. And Eileen Smith is here as well. Howdy. Good morning. Rebel Candace is here as well, saying good morning to you. Yeah, people are coming in. Comments are rolling. I don't know if it was busy for you. It was fairly busy for me. I did manage to push out a rough Made on YouTube sort of recap video. If you haven't seen that, probably a prerequisite for watching this. But if you haven't, that's okay. I'm prepared to. I'm not going to go into details. But if anybody has any particular questions about any of the announcements, then feel free to drop those in the chat at any time. Put a Q in front of it, just so I know that it's a question for me. And as we do in every show, if you've got any type of question at all around YouTube or content creation, that sort of thing, you can drop that also in the chat with a Q in front of it, so I know that is a question directed at me. So we'll do that as well. But we've got YouTube news. Not only was there Made on YouTube on Tuesday, the big announcement, it's the yearly sort of what's coming for creators type event. The very next day they did drop the weekly Creator Insider this week on YouTube, the YouTube news video, and that is something we're going to be talking about as well on today's show. And then we're going to get into sort of maybe the nitty gritty of some of the Made on YouTube announcements, and maybe towards the end discuss is there AI fatigue, or is there some sort of what's going on with AI? Why are people pushing back so much? We might want to discuss that. If you have any comments on that, we'll be talking about that a little bit later, towards after we get through all the other news points first. So yeah, that's the plan for today. We'll see where it takes us. I don't have Chantel in the chat today. She's off on a weekend away, so she won't be modding here today or on Nick's stream a little bit later as well. And I don't believe she'll be streaming this weekend either. So just make a note of that in your plans. If you're wondering where Chantel is, that's where she's off having fun. And good on her. All right. Let's see. Anything in the chat before we move on? So, we'll get cracking. We've got some news stories to touch on. And we will recap very briefly Made on YouTube in case you haven't heard what all the announcements are. If something piques your interest, then you can ask questions. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start on Wednesday this week with the Creator Insider newsflash and what that video announced, which came out after Made on YouTube event. And so some of the things that they announced here in this list, a couple of these items were actually announced at Made on YouTube, and we're immediately seeing some of them launch straight away. We've got like a whole run of launches. Some of them are very minor features, some of them are bigger features. So let's break it down. This week, they talked about the launch of the collaborations feature. You know, I talked about this on my channel at the beginning of August when we saw the Mr. Beast and the Mark Rober videos come out, and there was like this thing going on that says this video is Mr. Beast with Mark Rober, and then they announced this was called collaborations, and it was coming to everybody at some point in the future. Well, that some point in the future is already here. This feature is already starting to roll out. We'll talk more about that. They're starting to roll out title A/B testing, so we'll talk about that as well. Some of the other minor ones. One we talked about last week on the show that I even demoed was some more stickers on YouTube Shorts, and the one I demoed last week was the AI stickers. So they mentioned AI stickers and the image stickers, which were recently launched. So now there's 7 different sets of stickers you can do on YouTube Shorts. The other thing that they're launching is in vertical live streams is the live sticker poll, or the live poll sticker. It's really a live poll sticker because it sort of sticks a bit like the stickers in Shorts. It sticks on the live stream in the vertical feed, and it's a live poll. So it's doing polls like we can do here. Like I've already attached a poll, like a regular, like horizontal poll. We'll call it a horizontal poll. I don't know what to call it, but we've got that there, and that's there for people to already participate in. I broke down the 4 top groups of features and which one are you most excited about from Made on YouTube. If you're not sure yet, wait until you hear some of the things and then go back and vote before the end of the stream. The other thing is some gifts in vertical live streams for National Video Games Day, some very specialized gifts that you can give to a streamer. This is all the vertical video gifts are still US only. So if you're not in the US like me, then we can't even check it out. We can't even participate. So, you know, keep that in mind. All right, let's talk about collaborations first of all. And I need to make sure that I'm on this page because I've got to click some buttons here. So here's the highlight for the collaborations questions dropped by YouTube creator liaison Renee Ritchie on the YouTube Insider account. It says, you have collaboration questions. Here are the collaboration answers. I can't speak today. Okay, so how does the collaboration thing work? The host, whoever's hosting the video, the main person putting the video together, heading up the collaboration, will upload the video to their channel. So it's like a regular video upload, and the video goes on the host page. It's a regular video. Okay, Mr. Beast did this with the Mr. Beast Mark Rober. Mr. Beast put out one. Mark Rober was invited to be the collaborator. They went and made the video together, but it went on Mr. Beast's channel. The host can actually invite up to 5 other channels as collaborators. So I could potentially say, here I am. I'm doing a collaboration, and the Creator Classroom, who's in the chat here, has collaborated with me. We've done a video. It's going on my channel in this case. We've actually done it reverse before. I've actually been on the Creator Classroom's channel a couple of times. So what we can now do, if we collaborate in such a way, is whoever's posting that, whether it's me or Jennifer, we can post that out and invite the other person to collaborate. And maybe there's other people involved as well. Up to 5 we can invite to that. And what happens is they can have that video then appear on their channel, on their main channel, if they put in what's called a collaboration shelf on their homepage. It's a new shelf that you can add. So if you do start doing collaborations, you've got enough videos to fill a collaboration post, videos that you've been on other channels and appearing and collaborating with, then they'll automatically get added to that collaboration shelf. The hosts can also choose to share analytics with the collaborators. So if we're all participate in video, then we can optionally have that shared out to everybody who's a collaborator. The views, the watch time, and the revenue go to the host channel. Now, that's probably due to some complexities. You would have to work out a model for how to share revenue and different things like that. For the time being, this is how they're doing it. Now, the powerful part of this is that once that's all launched, it will show on different channels. It will show on the main channel. Every channel is collaborated. It will show to the viewers of that channel through the subscription feed, and maybe recommended as well, depending on the recommendation system and what that viewer is inclined to actually watch. So this is something that's going to be interesting, and I'm interested to dabble with this at some point in the near future once we make sure I've confirmed that we've got it. I've got another page on here that I've got to bring up. This one here. The right button there. Now, Peggy, a good friend Peggy, who also posts through Threads, had this comment to say about this post from Renee. It says, it seems like if you're a big YouTube channel and you want to help smaller channels, the smaller channel should host a video. That's interesting. That way they would get the watch time and the revenue. That's an interesting thought, which I hadn't thought of. I'm like, that's pretty cool. But you can be, it doesn't need to be big and small. We can be similar sized channels. Whose ever idea it was and is putting that video together, like they're editing it, they're putting in the hard work, they're bringing the other people in to collaborate. But ultimately, if they're the channel who's doing the editing and then putting it on their channel, then they're going to get the main rewards. But that's an interesting concept. If you can work out some sort of system, like an agreement between collaborators, so to speak, then that is very interested. But you get the exposure regardless, whether the big channel hosts it, little channel hosts it, or they're all the same size channel. The love is spread out. The video is shown to everybody on that collaboration, to their people who tend to watch their videos, people who subscribe to them, and things like that. So, do I have another one that's got to go up from this one? No, that's it. So yeah, collaborations is interesting. Before I continue, because collaboration is one of the more interesting things that they announced at Made on YouTube. So first I want to say hello to Creator Classroom. I know we've already mentioned. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know what you're excited about until you got to mull over it. Maybe get some hands on. Maybe do some more reading about it. Some of the stuff has sketchy in the sense of we don't know a lot about some of the features, and it's some of the brand stuff, some of the other stuff that we might talk about a little bit later. Enfield Road Layout in the Loft is here. Hello. Frankie is here. And Frankie, you notice I put the YT back. I'm like, it still felt weird. I'm like, I'm putting it back. I don't care anymore. I'm putting it back. So the YT's back. Larry says, I just completed an A/B title test. I went with one that was a clear winner after just 48 hours. Absolutely. Sometimes it's clear cut. That is a good question. That's something that I could probably put together, a list of what works now versus what's coming soon. And some of them have got like ETAs sort of roughly, so we can say, well, this is going to happen between now and the end of the year, or this is something that's happening way into 2026. So, don't even be looking out for it anytime soon. But then there's some of this stuff like collaborations. It's rolling out right now. A/B title testing, which we'll talk about in a second. There we go. Let's keep going. Title test and compare is what I'm most excited about. That's the next slide that's coming up. Because it's rolling out, and I can tell you that I already have it on my channel, and I implemented it on my video that I put out midweek. That's right. I did go away from vacation. Now it's back. We're back. We're doing videos. This feels like Peggy wants a handout. I wouldn't say about Peggy. I think she's just making an interesting point. A lot of the work's going to producing this video. Yeah, that's right. I think it's not about getting people to go and support the smaller channel, although I think that's a byproduct of it. But I think if you collaborate, then there's got to be like, it's a bit of benefit to everybody. There's terms of benefits right now. YouTube isn't allowing the things like revenue sharing, so that's something that is probably going to be complicated for YouTube, I think. Just how do you work that out? How do you deal if there's like some sort of dispute? How do you work it out? What if some of the channels that are being collaborated with aren't monetized yet? What do you do about that? So there's all these. You don't want to complicate this feature just yet with revenue, but the good thing is that when that's shared and it's shown under the video, there's subscription buttons for all the channels that are collaborating. So there is that ability to get that exposure regardless of who's hosting the video. No, hey, Frankie, do what you want. No obligation. It could be rolling out now, but if it takes 3 years to roll out, yeah, hopefully nothing takes 3 years to roll out, but who knows? Like if people start getting it, like if it's a test or a beta and they say that's what it is, then that's understandable. When they say it's rolling out to everyone, then that's like, well, I want to see that happen, within a short time frame, like a number of weeks. If for some reason Nick wanted a collaboration with, say, me, I wouldn't expect it to be hosted on my channel. I expect that he would want to host it. Yeah, like, well, it just depends. If you're interviewing him, then putting that on your channel, then, that's still a collaboration, but that's your video. He's a guest, still collaborating. But yeah, if he's doing that, he might like say, hey, I'm going to bring 5 other creators onto my channel. We're going to do like a Q&A, and then we'll do that video. I'll put on my video. Then I give every channel who's collaborating in that Q&A or that 5-way, 6-way, Nick and 5 other channels, that everybody will be included as a collaborator. That that you're getting that exposure. It's on Nick's channel. It's exposure, yeah, definitely. I think it works better that way, to be honest, to be on the bigger channel. But whose idea was it? Who's putting it together? Who's doing the work? Everybody's being talent on it. Everybody's putting in an appearance, but somebody is doing the work to put that video together, to edit it and upload it. Amazing Yacht Destinations is here. Welcome. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move on. That music from Creative Mixes is very laid back today. A/B title testing. All right, this is a screenshot from during the week from my back end. I was uploading my video, and up in the title section, optimize your titles. Test up to 3 titles to see which one performs best. Choose between testing only titles, only thumbnails, or combinations of both titles and thumbnails. And I decided to do the last one, combination of titles and thumbnails, but 3 titles, 3 thumbnails. Obviously, what I did is I matched the thumbnail and the title together because they go together. I made sure that the title and the thumbnail work together, not like the title wouldn't work for all the for the theme of the thumbnail. Each thumbnail is completely different. People have probably seen the completely wildly different thumbnails that I've used on that, and each one had its own title. Okay, where's my little thing that I gotta click on to bring this up? Oh, is it all right? I don't have any discussion points on this. But yeah, it's there. Didn't have more. That's the only screenshot I had. I actually thought I had a talking point that I was going to bring up, and I'm looking and I haven't added it. Making sure it's not there. No, I didn't add it. It's not there. Okay. But yeah, A/B testing. So if you're familiar with the thumbnail one that's already there, it's like that, but instead of just plonking in 3 thumbnails, there's slots for 3 titles. Now, if I went with the titles only, I could have just uploaded a single thumbnail and then had the titles test on their own. So that the ability is there to do that. Or I could just say, I'm just going to go do the old-fashioned thumbnail only 3-way test. I'm not going to test titles, so I'll just enter a single title and multiple thumbnails. So you can do it any of 3 ways. Brent says, I started using A/B title testing this week too. I can barely come up with one good title. 3. Yeah. I'm like, I've been in the habit of like just generating a bunch of random titles and then picking and choosing, and you know, some of the early AI sort of sources had some really sort of ordinary ones. So you know, I've been testing different tools for titles in a while. So I always come up with like several, and then sometimes I might switch them out if something's not really working, or if it's not as clear as I think it should be. So I'll be very. I'll just have a lot of titles just so that I can sort of figure out which one's the one I want to use, which one I think is going to do the best job. All right. I think titles is more useful than thumbnails. I think in many cases it can be. I think that's an interesting one. I think my next one, if I have like a thumbnail that I'm set on, then I'm going to maybe just try doing a title test. I think it'd be great to be able to test exceptionally short, search-based, and things like with and without parentheses. Yeah, that's it. That's interesting. I'm testing wildly different titles on mine. Obviously, they're about the same. It's the same video, so you know you can't go wildly off in types. But it's just like different framing. Depending on what tool you use, some of the tools you can go. Oh, look, I'm looking for, you know, something that leans into FOMO, or something that leans into being an authority, or something that leans more into you know, some other direction that might pique interest with the viewer. We make a thumbnail, decide to go with it. Title, send you the black hole. I think so. That's why I think my next test will be titles only, just to give that a crack. I agree, Larry, as if you already spent some time creating a thumbnail that you're happy with, A/B title would be very useful. Yeah, sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm pretty well set in the thumbnail that I want. That's the one that's going to grab attention. Let me work with titles, see if I can, you know, win. You know, I might have stopped their scroll, but I need to win the click. SMA Skies here. I clicked the wrong poll option. I'm most interested in dual horizontal vertical streaming. So you're picking a live stream and podcasts. All right. I think this is the live sticker poll, which is in the vertical feed. This is sort of what it looks like. I just grabbed the short. I figured out how to like grab shorts and get a high quality short that I can just sort of bring in as an animation. So yes, this is the vertical feed. So if you're doing a vertical live stream, this is what it looks like. So you can even, you know, use emojis, and you can move it around, put it on your screen where you want it, and then start the poll, and it will just sort of do the thing as you continue streaming. Obviously, it's going to cover you somewhere, so you got to figure out where you can put it. Vertical streams are already constrained with having the chat on the bottom half and different things like that. So yeah, it's about working out what works with vertical. So I just thought I'd throw that in just because that is a new feature, whereas we looked at the AI stickers and stuff for shorts last week. All right, we're going to get away from the Creator Insider announcements this week. The rest not worth talking about. I want to talk about leaderboard. Now, you might notice in today's live stream there is no leaderboard running at all. You can now, as a streamer, turn it off in your live stream settings, which means I should actually go to that screen. And so here's something that I posted earlier today, my time, overnight for some of you. For those of you who live stream to YouTube but are not gamers, this might interest you. You can now opt out of leaderboard in your live stream settings. And I have a bit of a picture to show you. Find it. That's the one. So this is in like on my desktop, where you usually go in and say, do you want the live chat on and off? Turn off the reactions and different things like that. Whether you want live chat summary on or off. It says elite now, a leaderboard one. If you uncheck that, which I've unchecked it, then you don't get the crowns and those badges showing up in your chat. Nobody's earning XP. It's like the feature never existed. So if you're doing a more like official, maybe you're a business or something like that, and you don't want the gamification, like, more power to you. If you want it, it's there. If you don't want it, you can now turn it off. So you do have the option of choice, which I think is the best option for YouTube to give us, the option of choice, yes or no. Sometimes we might not. I'm having a fun stream, I'm having a serious stream, whatever your reasoning is, you can have it or you can't, or you don't have to have it. So turning that off is now an option. Huzzah, huzzah, as they say. No more leaderboards for Doug. Yeah, Doug's leaderboard is history. I thought, well, the main reason I turned it off today was to demo that actual fact. It's like, hey, it's turned off. I saw it on a channel about the week before last, so probably up 2 weeks ago. And the only thing I found out, so how did you turn this off? It's like, and then I did hear something about contacting YouTube to do it. And I'm like, well, that's a bit rough. You know, the average user's probably not going to be able to do that. If they're not monetized on the partner program, they might not have live chat. How they're going to organize that? But now they've got this checkbox in, so they were probably working on this. And the channel that I was watching had some early bird access, but now it's rolling out. Yeah. You can do with it what you will. You can leave it on or you can turn it off, but at least you have the choice. I think having the choice is the best. Mark's Craft Channel is here. Welcome, Doug. Will hype button come, please? Yeah, a hype should be rolled out. The problem with the hype, the issue with the hype, which we talked about last week's stream, is that if you are watching a live stream or watching a video, I should say, on a brand channel, then the hype button is not going to appear under the video on mobile. So first, you have to be watching on mobile for the hype button to appear. Second, the creator has to be between 500 subscribers and 500,000 subscribers. They also have to be opted in for hype. You opted in by default, but they might have turned it off. The other thing is the video has to be under 7 days old. Once it's 7 days, it no longer is able to be hyped. So you got to hype videos when they're new. And finally, the other thing that's going to stop you seeing the hype button is if your channel you're watching from is a brand channel. It's a bit like how you can't gifted memberships. You can't see the hype button or give hype. And I had my rant on that last week, so I'm going to leave it there. All right. Yes, and hello and good morning to you too. I saw the hype button for the first time on my friend's channel, or two of my friends' channels actually. Yeah, for me to hype, I have to go to what I was calling my viewing channel. I've now called that channel Doug Hewson Extra, because I'm thinking that at some point if I do random content, I want somewhere to post it, and that's the channel I want to post it on. If it's random content, it doesn't fit on any of my other channels that I've already got. So it was called Doug Hewson Viewing up until this week, and I called it Doug Hewson Extra. So yeah, doing the thing. All right. Now, you might have heard about this through August, about a drop in views on a lot of channels, particularly in the tech space, but in other spaces as well. It wasn't exclusive to tech channels, but there was a drop, and there was a lot of investigation, a lot of digging, a lot of testing and reviewing, and people like Linus Tech Tips and other channels were affected by this. Some of us may have been affected by this as well. What it turns out to be is that there was some ad blocking software, because what they found is these views were dropping only on desktop views. All the other views for TV and mobile and stuff, they were still at expected levels. They were like in their benchmarks, but it was a drop in desktop views only. And it turns out it was a particular ad blocking service or ad blocking group of ad blockers where they had some code that was actually blocking YouTube from recording the view. So they were doing something in there, which I don't know if that was their intention or not, but what it did was actually block YouTube's ability to view. So they could like the video, it would record the like, but it wouldn't record the view. Now, they were unmonetized views, mind you, because they're using ad blockers, so they weren't getting ads anyway. So it was not affecting revenue. They were getting revenue, but they weren't getting the same amount of views. The views weren't being registered. And so YouTube came out and basically gave us this information here. Do I have an extra screen for this one? So I just want to put that out. This week we've got that confirmed. I know Roberto Blake confirmed it right on, like, I think last Sunday or Monday. And then a couple of days later, a channel called Theo Joe, who is a bit of a geek in understanding technologies and stuff. He does a lot of content on cybersecurity, different things like that. He found that the actual code that was doing the thing that was blocking the views. And so he exposed that. It was announced. A couple other channels confirmed it, and so that was all confirmed this week. People over the last month have been blaming restricted mode. They've been blaming YouTube's changed something in their back end, how they record views, different things like that. But it turns out YouTube weren't doing anything wrong. It was the ad blockers. So hey, I don't have anything more to say about that other than if I'm a creator, me as a creator, I personally don't use ad blockers. Are ads annoying sometimes, all the time? Probably, yes. I find them annoying at times. There's certain types of ads that are annoying. I could go get premium. I don't use premium myself just because I just don't. I sort of want to know how ads work. I want to know what other people, what viewers are seeing. So, I'm down there with the common man, All right, I'm going to jump into the chat real quick before we move on to our talk about Made on YouTube and AI and different things like that. Rebel Cannon says, how do I turn off the brand? Because I checked it and now I can't. Now I can do the brand. I'm not sure what you mean by I turned off the brand, because I checked it and now I can do anything. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, let me know. Just let me know. Let me know. It probably came in. There's probably let's look and see if I've missed an earlier comment. Maybe not. All right. Oh, brand channel. I knew. I've mentioned brand in a few different ways. Brand channel. Yeah. It's not easy to swap between because it's like a brand channel and a regular personal channel. I don't know the specific way, and I think there is a complication to it. Moving. Often people want to move to a brand channel, but in the case of this sort of thing happening, you sort of want, I can see the appeal of going to like a personal channel. I don't know what the pros and cons between having one or the other. Back in the day, it used to be just how people access permissions, or you give permissions on your channel. It was done a certain way on the brand channels and done a different way on personal channels. How to change that? I do not know the answer. I could find out. Last I heard, it was complicated. It was like doing stuff in the back end of Google. So yeah, we'll look into that. Because yeah, I understand it, because I'm actually interested now, because the channel I can drop hype on, I've only got one. The rest of them are brand accounts or brand channels, brand accounts. It is Google related. That's all I know. Yeah, it seems that way. Sort of there's reasons. The reasons for picking them is different now than what it was back years ago when we were going, I don't know, what's the brand channel, what's the personal channel, what's a brand account, a personal account. Ooh, yeah, maybe you go one way, not the other. I know that I knew back in the day when it was all to do with there was different ways to do the permissions, and the brand account way was better, and people wanted to like migrate to brand accounts. I don't know if you can migrate the other way. Marco, I'm doing great, thank you. I got top fans leaderboard on my live streams. Love it. Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah, it's a fun feature. It is a fun feature. Yeah, brand accounts. I think for most creators, including me, there is no downside to keeping it as personal channel. Yeah, I think this day and age, it doesn't really matter. The brand account seems to be the problematic thing now, whereas it used to be that's the go-to one there. You should really have that one because giving permissions to people on your channel, if you start growing a team, it makes it easier. You know, there was all these reasons back in the day. All right. Yeah, you can get. It's like you can get gifted memberships as well. You can receive memberships and gifted memberships. Like on this channel, this is the brand channel that I'm streaming from now. I can receive all these things, the supers and all the gifted memberships, regular memberships. I can receive them. I can receive the hypes. I've had videos hyped already, but I can't give them. I can't give the hypes. I can't give the gifted memberships. Cheers for that, Mark. Thank you for sharing. It's always good. Sharing is caring, as they say. Derailed. Yeah, there's probably very valid reasons for being on brand accounts still. So it's like weighing up which way we go. I'm gonna do a deep dive on that and figure that out. Because I have not looked into that in such a long time. All right, I'm gonna roll into, let's talk about Made on YouTube. Made on YouTube. It was in New York last Tuesday, just gone, and it's a yearly show. They've been doing it for like I think 3 or 4 years now, where YouTube announced all upcoming features that they're going to be rolling out to creators. Well, not all of them, but the major ones that they're going to be rolling out to creators over the next 12 months from now till next August or September. Remember, Hype was announced last year. It Made on YouTube. They only rolled that out back in August. So, you know, sometimes it takes a full year for it to get out. And I think there's probably some stuff in past years which never got implemented. We're going to have to go back and maybe recap those. That could be a whole video. Doug Hewson, the Deep Dive channel. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm just going to recap these really quick. What I'm going to do is to show you the groups. It'll be on screen so you can read along. I'm just going to tell you what the features are. If you have a question or you don't know what a feature is, let me know and I'll stop and I'll say, yeah, well, this is what the feature is. And then if I'm like forgetful, then I've got a backup person that can answer what that is, and that's called Gemini. Gemini, I forget what it is. Hey, Gemini, what was this about? So, that's the last resort, of course. Okay, we're going to work backwards from what they announced last to what they announced first, because I'm doing that for a particular reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off. There was some music fandom features. Now, this is really only applicable if you're like an official artist channel. So if you're not an official artist channel, then none of this really means anything to anybody. And so in this case, it's music fandom features. These are features for artists who have YouTube channels. They're going to have features like release countdowns of pre-sales. So all this happens on the platform, of course. Just for fans video drops and exclusive merch offers, so you can give merch discounts or merch offers to your supporters or your members and different things like that. This is one they touched on the least, and one that sort of I probably least interested in, because I'm just not an official artist channel. I don't make music. I'm not a music artist. So we're skipping past that one pretty quick. All right, next one. Brand partnerships and earnings. This is stuff where there's opportunities or tools to help us earn more on YouTube. The first thing they announced was flexible brand sponsorship spots. This is where you're going to be able to have like a brand sponsorship spot in your video, but then at some point that might be a timed one, and it might be only for 3 months or 6 months or a year, and then after that you can sell that spot to somebody else and then insert a whole new sponsorship spot in the existing video down the road. So you're going to start getting some flexibility in the ways that you can sell sponsor spots on your channel. And how that's all going to work, we don't know yet. YouTube's not going to be rolling this out until well into next year. But it's something that people are excited about, because there is probably going to be some things that we could do that we've never been able to do before as creators. Because usually once we upload a video with a sponsor spot in it, it's there for perpetuity. And what if something happens? What if that company goes bust or something like that? All you could do previously was take down the video, but the other content in the video might be not related to the sponsor in particular. It might be a tutorial or a teaching video or a vlog or something like that. And so if you can just switch out the sponsorship and then continue on, or remove it, put your own thing in there, however that works, that's going to be a good thing. They're rolling out the ability to have brand links in shorts. So if you're doing a brand thing in shorts, that you can just link straight to the brand, so people can find that brand, or whatever product or service that they're offering. So that makes sense. That's common sense. Auto timestamps for shopping. So if you're in the YouTube affiliate program, the YouTube shopping program, whatever you would like to call it, I've seen people call it both. Auto timestamps is where it's automatically going to figure out where in the video that shopping item is appearing, and then timestamp that. And so what that means that the little product tag that comes up will automatically pop up. And that's related to the next one, which is auto tagging. And some of this is already happening on YouTube already. So some of this is already rolling out in terms of the timestamps and tagging at different stages of release, particularly if you're in the US, where the main part of the YouTube affiliate program is rolling. There's a few other countries where it's rolling, but they're rolling out the testing on some of these things there first when it comes to the shopping. And they also got creating a creator partnerships hub. This is going to be in the Google side for Google ads. So brands can come in and sort of get better matched with creators based on different things, probably ability to access some statistics on conversions and different things like that. How that all works remains to be seen. That is also coming well into 2026. I don't think that part is rolling out anytime soon. Sell ad spots for your best performing videos. Yeah, definitely. If you've got like a perpetually a popular video, or even if something's like seasonality, say around Christmas or around summer or around Valentine's Day or whatever it might be, that each year when that comes around, that always gets like a hit with a lot of views, and you can do like seasonal sponsorships. Flexible brand spots. I first thought it was unfair to premium viewers. However, then I remembered they can just fast forward. I wonder though, if you have the ability to change that out in the back end of YouTube, whether YouTube now knows that that's an ad 100% because you swapped it out, and will that now allow premium users to skip it? Who knows? It's possible. Something in the back of my head that I'm pondering. Will they do that? Because YouTube now know that that's flagged as a brand sponsorship spot, effectively an ad. And premium is supposed to skip all ads. Maybe, interesting. We'll just have to see how it's going to work. Brand links in shorts, yeah, because there's not a lot of clickable stuff on shorts, but if you can get something that you can click on and it's going to make you money because you're going to get an affiliate sale, then hey, that's a win. All right, Now, this one has so many things to talk about. There's two screens worth of items here. Live streaming and podcasting. I can see that currently on the poll, live streaming and podcast is at 35% of vote responses. I'm just going to open that up so I can see how that's going. And that's the biggest response. That's winning. So it is the longest one at the moment, is live streaming and podcasts. That could change between now and the end of the video. But let's talk about this real quick. Now, this is the big one, dual streaming, horizontal and vertical. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We know in the back end of YouTube, when you're looking at like I'm looking at my studio screen now. Right now, I have my horizontal stream to the left, and then details, and I've got my comments down the right-hand side. You'll see the horizontal and the vertical together, and then both chats will be together, combined. So it's a bit like using StreamYard and bringing like your Facebook and your YouTube and your X and your all your comments in one place. It'll be the same on YouTube from the horizontal and the vertical versions. How it allows you to do the thing, we don't know how that's going to work yet. Like, do we have to push out a horizontal and a vertical using something like OBS or Meld or some other software? Is YouTube just going to crop the middle and make that a horizontal? Or either or. Maybe they give you the option. You can, if you're just sending one, we'll crop it for you. Or if you want to send both, then we will we'll allow you to do that. You can put in two string keys or whatever, or link two different encoders or two different signals, so that you can send both at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. We don't know how that's going to look. Also for live streaming, AI-powered insights, which means that once you've done your stream, it's going to get the AI is going to recap the stream and give you stats about how your stream went. Maybe how many concurrent viewers you had. I don't know what it's going to tell you. It's probably a little bit more than what we get right now with the little summary that pops up. If you use the studio backend, you get a little pop-up once you end your stream to give you basic stats. This is going to give you way more insights. Practice streams. This is a lot of people are very positive about the practice streams. So it allows somebody to practice on mobile, live streaming before they actually go live. So it'll give you all the tools and make it look like you're live, just to get confident with the experience. I think that's going to be pretty good. React Live this will be a mobile feature as well. This is where you can live react to a live stream, which is a little bit odd. It's interesting, but it's a little bit odd. I wouldn't have thought that too many people would be into that, but I can understand it from maybe a point of view is, say you've got, like we recently had an Apple event a couple of weeks ago. What if you, and they live stream it on YouTube, like that's happening live. Maybe if they allow it, because it has to be allowed by the streamer. If they allow you to react to it, then it'll show their stream at the top and then you at the bottom reacting to it. And so people can watch you reacting to the stream, which is happening above you on the little mobile screen. And we'll see how that goes. The other thing for live stream is the playables. If you remember the playables games that we like to, like we get the shelf offered to us sometimes on desktop or mobile, and we're not really interested in playing games on YouTube. We're here to watch videos. But they got the games. You can actually play those games and stream them. So it's like a streaming, specifically the playables game. You'll be able to do it. It'll be a feature that'll be in the app as a live streaming option. Let's go to page 2 for live streaming and podcasting. All right. Side-by-side ads. I saw this. I was watching Daniel Batal's live stream last weekend. So it was my Sunday night, so it would have been his Sunday, your Sunday morning, East Coast US time. I was just doing a DaVinci Resolve tutorial live, and then partway through, he shrunk over to the left and then the right, an ad played in the player window. So it was like the ad was side by side with the view. The stream was still going, but for me, I don't know whether I could adjust it or not, but for me, the ad cut in the audio and I couldn't hear what Daniel was saying. I could see him continue, but I couldn't hear him. But apparently you should be able to hear the stream still. So maybe that was just an audio setting or something. I'm not sure. But this is interesting. I don't know I don't know how well that's going to go. I'm going to see how I experience that, because I don't go on too many live streams that have ads. Sometimes people leave them on accidentally, or they just have them on anyway. Whereas typically me here, we do. I don't run mid rolls. I've got it on manual, so unless I click the button and say run an ad, it's not going to run an ad. Public to members only transition. So this is where I could be live streaming to the public right now, like I am. I'm going public. I'm not. It's not a members only. It's not a subscriber only. It's everybody. Now, I could get to say, when I do drop the last call, saying, okay, last call's only for members. So if you want to continue on and into last call, make sure you join. But otherwise, we'll say goodbye to all the public viewers, and then we continue to stream as a members only stream. That is what they're talking about. How that's going to be implemented will be interesting to see. I'm going to hold. I'm a little bit, probably not going to use it, but I'm sort of interested in the feature to how it works. Is my main interest in that. The last two things on here: podcast clips with AI suggestions. So basically, if you upload a video that's a podcast, or you record a live stream that's a podcast, and you're going to put it in a podcast feed, it's going to be able to pull out. So it's like a basic version of Opus Clip. It's going to be able to find clips for you, whether they're horizontal or vertical, and say, hey, we think these clips would be great to be dropped as shorts or shorter clips on your channel. And then you have the option to say, yeah, well, I actually like that. I'm going to put that. I'm going to publish that as a separate video, as a short or a short video clip. It's just another AI tool for you to use to repurpose without having to go out and pay for Opus Clip or something. It's not going to do all the whiz bang, all the fancy stuff, all the captioning and stuff, but it's going to give you the basic edit ready to go, so that you can maybe re-upload that as a clip. And the other thing for podcasters in particular is, if you upload an audio only podcast to YouTube, you're going to have the option to turn it into a video. So you can upload that, and it will actually somehow, using AI, of course, add visualizations. I don't know whether it's going to give you like little waveforms dancing around, or if it's going to try and recreate some sort of animation that reflects what's being said in the audio, or give some sort of B-roll, or it gives you some sort of like title, sort of maybe it's just something moving, and that pops up like the like captions as they speak. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to be the ability to take that audio and turn it into a video, because YouTube is a video platform, even though it's going to be played as audio on YouTube Music in their podcast section. It's also going to be on your video. People are going to be interacting with it as a video, so you should really be allowing, if you don't currently have a camera on, then maybe you should let it turn your audio podcast into a video podcast. Be interested to see how that looks visually, because that's is it going to do a good job? Is it going to be interesting? Are people going to want to watch that? We shall find out. Now, before I continue, I'm going to jump into the chat so I haven't missed it. Make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, that's right. With the flexible ad spots, we don't know what YouTube's intentions are in terms of how they're going to treat them. I'm guessing it can be treated as part of the video, because YouTube isn't getting any money cut of the sponsorship. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. That's possible, yeah. Already started chatting with Gemini about maybe changing my live stream layout. Yeah, interesting. I haven't tried anything visual like that with Gemini yet. Although I do get it to, use Image Banana to, Nano Banana, not Image Banana, Nano Banana to, this background that I made, that I took the Made on YouTube logo or official screen. Now this one here, that's the official Made on YouTube sort of little title card they had for the event. I asked Gemini before the stream to turn that into a background, gave it some instructions, And that's where I sort of came up, where it's moved aside, there's an open bit in the middle where I can drop in these texts. So yeah, it was Gemini, and I just put it into Canva and tweaked it a bit, just to like to bring up the quality, just like image upscale a little bit, just to make it look a little bit sharper. Because I was outputting it as a 4K. even though the stream is only 1080p, I was making the background 4K. Live React is good for news channel. Yeah, that's a good use case. I like that. But if that happens while watching on TV, that wouldn't be cool. Oh, we're talking about the side by side. Is that side by side ads? I think they have something. They have a different. I think they have ads popping up on the sidebar. It's been a while. I need to fire up my one of my YouTube on TV or on my Apple TV on my Fetch and see how that looks, because I know they've been updating that sort of stuff. Audio video, yeah. Sometimes, like I've dabbled with some audio thing. I'm like, well, this day and age, putting on maybe Spotify or YouTube, you probably want to be giving them a video podcast and an audio podcast. And if I haven't recorded like me talking at the time, if it's not like it's shot in a studio or something like that, then what can I do to make it visually interesting? So for sure. Yeah, it should be interesting. I sort of think of like how OpenScript when they first rolled out is like very basic. They could do. Canva is my friend. Gemini, I remove some nerdy tech info from my thumbnail, and the same tech info is in the live streams. Only people active in astrophotography would be into it. Casual viewers may be confused. Yeah, it's good. Getting some like feedback and insights. I like it. All right, we need to move on. YouTube Studio updates. This is stuff that is all happening sort of in like collaborations, which we talked about today. A/B testing, title, thumbnails. We already talked about that. But let's look at Ask Studio. Ask Studio is like a chat GPT for Studio to tell you how your channel's going. You can ask it questions about your videos, about your channel, about different things, and it's going to give you feedback based on your channel, because it's going to know your channel, because it's going to be trained to understand your channel and how YouTube works. So I'm really interested in to see what capabilities they give that, whether they just putting like a skin on something like a Gemini. You think if they're going to use any sort of back end, they're going to be using Gemini or some sort of Google AI. Down to new features in Inspiration tab. I don't know too much about what new features. Inspiration tab's constantly evolving. There's a lot of AI generated sort of information, so it sort of will probably maybe work hand in hand with Ask Studio. More features in the Inspiration tab just to help you come up. It's like for brainstorming video ideas, things like that. More to be learned as they roll them out. Auto dubbing with lip sync. Did anybody see the example? I think I showed it in my video, and I even did like I zoomed in for a few seconds on the mouth moving, because he was doing it the original in, I think it was German or French or something like that, or maybe it was Spanish, and then they showed it in him getting dubbed into English, and then they were altering his lips. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't like clearly the mouth not matching and stuff. It was sitting where it should be and different things like that. I think there's potential in it. There's a whole other, group of issues going on with auto dubbing generally, and how YouTube's implementing it, particularly for people who are multilingual, and how they get served content that is maybe not you know, because you have to say my primary language is English, or my primary language is Hindi, or my primary language is Spanish. And so it's going to take that, and maybe you also speak English, but you mainly speak Spanish, so you're watching stuff in Spanish. But when the English stuff comes up, you want to consume it in English, but YouTube is automatically giving it to you in Spanish. It's converting it to Spanish if that person's got a Spanish dub. It's showing you the Spanish version with the Spanish titles and description, and obviously the Spanish dub. So there's some, you know, there's some kinks to be worked out of the whole multi-language audio as a rule. And we know in the last few weeks we saw that last week they're rolling out multi-language audio to more channels, or it's getting rolled out to all whoever I can't remember the eligibility for it now. It was only last week we talked about it. So that's something that's coming up. Be interested to see how good or bad lip sync is in the real world. So we'll see. I'll reserve judgment. Likeness detection. Now this is interesting. This is like copyright for your likeness. So if YouTube detects your likeness in a different video, it's going to flag it to you. It's going to say, hey, we found a bit like the copyright ID, the copyright tool, where it says, hey, somebody used part of your video. It'll say, hey, we found your likeness in videos that aren't on your channel. So here they are, and you know, you to do what you will with. And so if they detect that, whether that's like somebody like deep faking you with AI, or maybe they've filmed you without your permission, I suppose, that your likeness detection would still kick in. And maybe they're not putting you in a flattering light or something. Or if it is deep faked, making you say something you didn't say, it's your likeness, then you can actually ask for it to be removed. And I think that would probably already fall into their already existing privacy rules. So if you ever turn up in somebody else's video without your permission, maybe whether they put you in bad light or not, if you don't want to be in that video and they didn't ask your permission to be in that video, and you're out there in some part of the video, you can technically reach out to YouTube, flag that video, and say, I did not give permission for my likeness or for me to be in this video, and you can request it be taken down. Now, what YouTube does is they give that channel the opportunity to actually remove you from the video, and then they can leave the video up. If they remove you from the video, they can leave it up. So maybe you're just in a portion, they could cut it out, or they could blur your face. Maybe you're not speaking, it's just you standing there for whatever reason, but you're in the video, you don't want to be in that. They can satisfy YouTube by actually removing that portion of the video, or by using the blur tools in YouTube editor to blur you out, different things like that. So there are options that they can do to remove you from the video but still have their video remain. Now, if you don't do it within a certain time frame, then YouTube may take your video down just because they've requested it for privacy reasons. So that's something to keep in mind. And we've got one more page to look at, and this is the interesting one. This is the one that gets the most comments on videos talking about these announcements. And I think it's because A, they led with them, and B, because of just how people feel about AI in general, like particularly generative AI. Where am I up to? I'm just make sure I haven't missed anything in the chat real quick. He responded, the video that's made the most money from the Creator Classroom is make a video slideshow in Canva with a quick technique with an estimated revenue of $509.33. Ooh. Can you tell me what video made me the most money and why? Oh, because you have it in YouTube Studio. Oh, nicely done. Because I think they're testing it in US first, if I recall. So many announcements that I could have that wrong. AI can't replace actual people. Well, that's right. You can't put the you in YouTube with AI, can you? Oh wow. Cool. Anyway, we need to continue on. Shorts creation tools. Now, these are all AI related, AI generative AI, and some of the other things we talked about previously have elements of that. Some of it's more in the LLM space, large language model, so it's like informational, not generative. And I think most people, when they talk about AI slop or AI, you know, they have issues with AI. They're usually talking about, in the most part, talking about AI content generation, video generation, audio generation, like bad audio, bad robotic audio. They think of different things. But these are the features, and these are all shorts creation tools. I think some people didn't pick up on that as well, that these are all shorts related. So if you don't make shorts anyway, then like this, I see crazy comments about, oh, YouTube's forcing this on us. It's like, well, as a creator, you can do whatever you want. You can film 100% you on video, 100% real content, and you can continue to do that. YouTube more than happy for that to happen. They love it, more so than probably having you like just generate stuff with AI. But the first one is Edit with AI. So this is a tool that sort of allows you to upload multiple pieces of footage, and it will sort of give you like a first rough cut draft of your short in by just analyzing it and figuring out how it should fit together, how it makes sense. So it's basically like an auto cutting tool. This is going to be in the Shorts tool, and it's also going to be in the YouTube Create app. And I think that's where it's probably going to be more useful, to be honest. Because if you can upload the stuff that you want, so it's real footage, this is not generating anything, it's just editing it for you. So the AI is understanding the content and trying to cut it in a coherent way. Maybe it will do a good job, maybe it won't. Obviously, it only has the footage that you upload work with. So it can be 100% you footage. It could be your talking head, maybe some B-roll and stuff, which is how I would probably think about it. It's like, well, here's my A-roll. It's one take. It might have some bits that need to be cut out, but this is it. And then this is all my B-roll. So it has to figure out how to make sense, where to put the B-roll and different things like that. It's going to give you a draft that you can then work from there. But I think the fact that it's going to be in the YouTube Create app, I think that'll make it more functional, because the Shorts toolbox is fairly limited in, once you've got things there, you can't move them around. You can trim things and do basic stuff, but not too much. So I'm interested to see how that's implemented. Speech to song, I think this is a bit of like a gimmicky thing. So you can speak something in a video and do speech to song, and it will turn what you say into like a little bit of a melodic sort of song, and probably I don't know if it gives you the choice of genre or whatever, but I would expect so. Saying, I said this thing, it could be something funny, it could be a meme or something, and I want you to turn it into a bit of a country song, and then it'll put it to music and have it sung using the magic of AI, I suppose. I don't know how it all works in the back end. Okay, they're also rolling out VO 3 to Shorts, and that's in the markets that are already using VO in Shorts, which is like UK, Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand. Right now, you can do stuff like create an image and then animate that image for 8 seconds. But now with VO 3 rolling out, that video side of things is going to be a little bit more high power, where you're also going to get some like audio sound effects included in that short video. So yeah, it's just like an upgrade of the quality and the features within that tool. And there's going to be a bunch of other VO capabilities they're going to be adding to Shorts creation tools as well. So let's jump into the chat real quick. You know what? I'm going to go back to let's go back to the main scene. Let's do that. Been on those other screens so long. All right, let's jump into the chat, see what we got here. Larry says, I'm most excited about all the brand improvements, the Ask Studio AI research tool, and A/B title testing. Yes, a good combination. I like that. Somewhat different topic. It'd be nice if we didn't have to dox ourselves if someone stole our content. I haven't run into that, luckily. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, in this case, if their likeness detector picked up that you're in a different video and then alerted you, then you would hopefully just have to do it. Because it's not a copyright issue, there's no legal obligation to provide your actual details or your location. It's a privacy request. And because it's a privacy request by nature, keep your personal information private. That's the whole point of a privacy request. Or your likeness is showing that you don't want it on there. You can just say, this is my likeness. I don't want it on there. Please remove it. Please and thank you. Hopefully it's as easy as that. I sent you a screenshot where is upper. Oh, okay, let me go have a look real quick. And we can pull that up too. Let me bring that up. Let me go to. Okay, because I pulled it up on in Twitter. Okay, so it's the top end of your studio. It's the little sort of AI Gemini / little star icon. That's the Google sort of AI icon. And it says Ask Studio. You know what? Have I got that? You got me wondering now. Let me jump to Studio real quick. No, yeah, because I think they're rolling it US first, so I don't have that. But that's interesting. Up the top between the question mark and the bell. Yeah, I don't have it yet. But yeah, that's cool. That's nice. I actually didn't like occur to me that it had already started rolling out. But I think you're right. Yeah, I think it is supposed to be a desktop only, which should sort of make sense. Has anyone noticed that YouTube is changing things on their shorts after you uploaded? Like, you mean like touching it up, like adding like filters and stuff? Like I told Lemon Brothers, it's like how I am going to trust someone to stole my virtual content with my stuff. Yeah. Oh, like touching up. Yeah. There was some talk about that in the last month or so. People had picked up on it and they were asking YouTube about it. And Renee Ritchie, the creator liaison, did come out and say that they were doing some experiments. It was like an experiment. And so some people were seeing that due to that. So I think they were stopping the experiment because people weren't happy, from what I recall. I need to really quick click on that. I'm on desktop now. I can't find the studio. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just still rolling out. Need to probably find some backup for that. You know what? Let's try this. I have an idea. I'm going to ask Gemini. What is the rollout ETA for Ask Studio? Gemini should tell us in a second. It's thinking about it. Sometimes it replies real quick. It's just reviewing all the notes that I've given it on Made on YouTube. You know how many notes on Tuesday as Made on YouTube was happening, and I was finding all the articles and the documentation online as they were releasing it. I was piping that into Gemini to basically distill all the information because there was a lot to go through with the amount of announcements they had, and
the rollout ETA for Ask Studio is that it is *** currently rolling out and will be available to creators in the US in the coming weeks.
there we go. Coming week, US and coming week. So in the US, it's rolling out. So that's why Jennifer has it. Larry doesn't have it yet, but you all should have it. You all should be getting it in the coming weeks. All right. How is YouTube going to throttle collab requests? Because Mr. Beast channel is going to get 100. Well, the thing is, yeah, I don't know. You think that's going to impact because it comes out by like it'll be like send you an email. Like if you invite someone to be a collaborator, you'll then get an email. So he would be his default email address for the channel would get inundated with emails. So does their email system fall over? But hopefully, they'll have some like instruction. Do not invite people to be a collaborator if they do not appear in your video. They must appear in your video to invite them, or something like that. Because they're not. Mr. Beast is not going to accept them. So. What is that playlist? I'm not sure. What was I? You mean the music that I'm playing, or something else, or her video playlist? Yeah, let me know which playlist you mean, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. You've confused me. I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you mean by playlist. Oh, the music. It's Creator Mix. It's just on I just have it on, like I select all the Creator Mix albums that are on Spotify, and then I put them in like a random list, and then it picks tracks at random. At the moment, it's doing that there. It's called. Where's the track? It's a track called Split. It's on the album called Nouveau. That's the current one. So it's playing sort of Nouveau, and it looks like it's going to be playing from the album Ritual. In the tracks that are in the queue that I'm looking at. So yeah, it's all Creator Mix, but the current track is on the album called Nouveau. Yeah, sort of like trap, sort of rap / EDM type stuff. I don't know exactly what it is. Just depends on where in the play. It says like 9 hours and 4 minutes on Spotify that I've selected. So, every week you're probably getting some different genre. This is worth all the money in the world. It's the Home Alone emote. I don't know what I called that, but anyway, I called it something. In there. Let's have a look at the poll real quick. So if you haven't voted in the poll, we've had 20 votes, but if you haven't voted yet, make sure you drop your vote now. So which is the group of announcements? So I showed you them in the groups. I left out the whole music fandom one because I only got 4 options in the poll, and we're not going to want, I don't think everybody's watching's in that sort of OEM official artist channel anyway. So currently Shorts AI creation tools 20%, or it's just dropped to 19%. YouTube Studio Updates 29%. Live streaming and podcasts is 33%, and brand deals monetization 19%. So they're all getting a vote, and unfortunately you can only vote for one. But there's going to be like features in several of those categories that are gonna be interesting in people. I'm gonna hit end poll on that. Just so it finalizes that out, and I think what it does is it shows the summary in the bottom and in the chat there live. So yeah, I think it's time for, oh my goodness, Human Life starts in 10 minutes, so I'll play the music just because, if I don't play the music, I'll be in trouble. It's the last call.
It's the last call.
Yes, it's the last call. So if you've got any questions or comments, you've got 60 seconds to put them in. Because with Chantel out this weekend, I got a mod Nim and Life solo. So, yes, I need to be all on it. Someone's just dropped the super. Thank you for the super chats. Well, and just as I went to click, it clicked on the Nim and Bros time. Indeed, Nim and Bros time. And yes, the mystery GIF this week is made on YouTube, which is GIF I uploaded to Jiffy myself. And also added a new one today on Jiffy and put it in the link where I list all the commands. Let me know if you spot it. It's in there. I need to remember. I got to heart that. Let's do all the things. There we go. Larry, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It is Nim and Bros time. We've got the hydrate. We've got the out of time. We've got the mystery. I'll give you a hint what the word is. I wouldn't get hyped up about it, but it is the word hype. Exclamation hype is the new one added to the list. And you've probably seen the logo before. There it is. There it is. The hype is hyped. I'm going to drop that one myself. We are out of time. We're out of time. I need the time machine to make up the time that I've gone slightly over today. 8 minutes to Nim Alive. So I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to now revoke the last call sign. And thank everyone for watching. Wallace, thanks for commenting. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you there. Thanks, Doug. Not a problem. Artist Haven's here. Say good morning. As we're wrapping things up, ready to head over to Nim Live now. I've set up the redirect, so everybody should get redirected automatically to Nick's pre-stream live chat, and I will meet you in there in a few minutes' time. So that's right. No last call, immediate dismissal. We've dropped the last call. I've dropped the music for it. I've now revoked it back, and I'm going to say goodbye, and I will catch you next time.